Chongqing, who was sitting near Zhang Yi, gradually became more and more irritated. He looked down at Zhang Yi and muttered to himself, "No, it's impossible, right?" Just as he had this thought, he heard Zhu Zheng's voice in his ear. "After careful consideration, I have decided that in the upcoming operation to encircle and destroy Eclipse Moon, the Tengu Squad will take the lead, and the Reincarnation Squad will coordinate with the Tengu Squad. Zhang Yi, on the other hand, will be the supreme commander on the battlefield, and the Combat Center will provide battlefield guidance." Once these words were spoken, the entire meeting hall exploded. Although they were all highly qualified individuals and would not normally lose their composure in the presence of someone as senior as Zhu Zheng, the current situation had everyone shocked beyond belief. "What? You want to let a mutant from the outer city be the commander-in-chief of this operation? What qualifications does he have? In terms of popularity or tactical skills, he is no match for Gao Changkong or Tu Yunlai. This is a bit too much of a joke." But Commander Zhu must have given this decision careful consideration. It seems that this Zhang Yi does have exceptional abilities. Some people muse to themselves. He was able to kill 4 members of Eclipse Moon, so he is quite capable, but can he command people like Gao Changkong and Tu Yunlai? Others quickly figured out the reason behind this. Is Commander Zhu worried that his achievements will make him too powerful? So he chose a mutant from the outer city, who is easy to control, to take on an important role. But if he's not up to the task and the third siege fails, that would be a big problem. Everyone had their own thoughts. Tu Yunlai looked shocked for a moment, but quickly regained his composure. Gao Changkong, on the other hand, was fuming with anger. Jiyushin said angrily, "Who does he think he is, coming here to command us?" Gao Changkong shook his head at him. "Commander Zhu must have his reasons for making this decision. And I've heard that this Zhang Yi has his own unique way of doing things." Gao Changkong got along well with Baili Chongqing, so he had heard some of Zhang Yi's exploits. Zhang Yi had a straight face. Both Zhu Zheng and Deng Yuanbo had already spoken to him about this matter, so he wasn't surprised. On the contrary, Baili Chongqing was dumbfounded. He looked at Zhu Zheng on the stage and then at Zhang Yi, who had a calm face, before realizing that Zhang Yi had already known everything. He slapped his head. "No wonder you agreed to accept the position of captain of Tengu Squad. It turns out that Commander Zhu promised you such a great benefit." Once the mission to besiege Eclipse Moon was successful, the rewards Zhang Yi received would undoubtedly be huge, and he would also be able to become the hero of the entire Jiangnan region. Even in the entire Huashu Kingdom, legends about him would circulate in the folklore. Asking himself if there was such an opportunity in front of him, Baili Chongqing would rush to grasp it. Zhu Zheng looked towards Zhang Yi on the stage. "Captain Zhang Yi, come up and say a few words." Zhang Yi suddenly got up and walked onto the front stage under the gaze of everyone. His gaze swept over the crowd at the scene, and he said a bunch of platitudes in a very official manner, so I won't repeat them here. "I will do my best to take down these evil Ronin and maintain the dignity of Jiangnan region as well as Huashu as a whole. It is my generation's duty to revive the nation's glory. Thank you. By the way, in the future, please address me by my official title at work, and don't use my real name." After the polite words were finished, Zhang Yi walked off the podium with a calm demeanor. At the special occasion, Zhu Zheng didn't waste time talking about too many things. The meeting ended quickly, and he left Gao Changkong, Tu Yunlai, and Zhang Yi behind to chat alone for a while. It was nothing more than asking Gao Changkong and Tu Yunlai to take a stand and support Zhang Yi's efforts. Tu Yunlai's attitude was very frank. As a professional soldier, it wasn't false that he had his own ambitions, and his doubts about Zhang Yi's ability also existed. But as long as the top brass decided on something, he would not go against it. And Gao Changkong also smiled and said that he would obey the decision of the region and fully support Zhang Yi's work. Zhu Zheng looked at Zhang Yi. "Next, the matter of you serving as captain will be communicated to the entire city to publicize you as chaos. This is something that will happen on our publicity outlets, and you need to reach out to the members of your squad and seize the time for training. Most importantly, familiarize yourself with your team members and make them trust you. Zhang Yi nodded. I certainly understand this matter. However, I would like to ask, is there any news about Eclipse Moon now? Zhu Jing shook his head. After they disappeared, there has been no movement. We even suspect that they left the continent from the harbor and went back to Neon to recruit. Zhang Yi frowned. Back to Neon? Zhu Jing said, that is their home base after all. He suddenly sneered, relying on the things they did here. I guess they must have a good reputation in Neon itself, so they can gather more Ronin to come. It just so happens that I also want to fight a beautiful battle to turn the tide. Everything was unknown. Zhu Jing said, take this time to familiarize yourself with your team. He reached out and placed his hand on Zhang Yi's shoulder, patting it twice with force, his gaze containing expectations. We will mold you into a hero, and your body also holds the hopes of the people of the entire Jiangnan region. So you must give it your all. Don't feel too much pressure, this time our preparations are solid. If necessary, Tu Yunlai and Yan Yin army will also be deployed. Zhang Yi's pupil was a little dilated. You even have to send out Yan Yunwei? Yan Yunwei was the most important force in defending Blizzard City, and once they left Blizzard City, it would result in a huge reduction in Blizzard City's defense. It seemed that this time, Zhu Jing had really made up his mind. Zhu Jing nodded. There are no enemies within the region, the enemies are all outside. I have made comprehensive preparations, there is no need for you to worry about that. Zhang Yi naturally did not worry about Blizzard City in his heart. If the Yan Yunwei led by Tu Yunlai, the Reincarnation Squad, plus their Tengu Squad were added, then it could be said that the armed forces deployed this time were at least 3 times stronger than the last time. According to Zhang Yi's analysis of Heavenly God Squad's combat power, unless they had found even more powerful helpers, there was almost no chance of defeat for the Jiangnan region in this battle. Zhang Yi nodded, his heart slightly at ease. I understand. After the meeting was over, Gao Changkong was drinking tea in the lounge on the first floor of the combat center, with his girlfriend Gu Man sitting in the seat next to him, as well as Bai Li Changqing. As for his vice-captain Cheng Jiushen, this person had always been rather impatient, and this time, knowing that Zhang Yi was going to be the leader of the operation, he had quite a few complaints. So Gao Changkong sent him away. Bai Li Changqing looked at Gao Changkong and said with some regret, in terms of ability, you are more suitable than Zhang Yi to take command this time. But he didn't say the second half of his sentence because that would involve some complicated things within Blizzard City. Bai Li Changqing had no way to change any of that. It was not that he looked down on Zhang Yi. It was just that as far as a commander was concerned, Zhang Yi was indeed no match for Gao Changkong. It could even be said that this was something Zhang Yi himself admitted. However, Gao Changkong smiled and shook his head, seemingly not caring about it. It was just that the fleeting regret in the middle of his eyes still could not be perfectly concealed. Since it's a decision made by the headquarters, there must be an intention. It's impossible for Commander Zhu to joke about the safety of the region. No matter who is going to be this commander-in-chief, I will do my best to cooperate. Bai Li Changqing smiled. It's just a name, when it really comes to the battlefield, Zhang Yi will have to rely on you as well. Gu Man's eyes revealed an annoyed look. But this title, however, is very important. Bai Li Changqing's face was somewhat helpless. That title, of course it was important. Leading a large army and defeating the Neon Ronin organization head-on, such a reputation could allow a person to quickly rise in Blizzard City, gain a lofty reputation, and have a chance to enter the center of power. He is not a person who covets reputation, and has even less interest in joining Blizzard City. Bai Li Changqing explained. Gao Changkong smiled faintly, perhaps, that's why he was chosen. Zhang Yi walked out after speaking privately with Zhu Zheng and picked up Yang Xinxin who was holding flour, and the two of them went downstairs together. When they arrived at the first floor, Bai Li Changqing, who had already been waiting here for a long time, hastily waved. Hey, Zhang Yi. This way. Zhang Yi saw Gao Changkong and Gu Man, and in his heart, he wondered what kind of attitude they had. There was definitely disappointment inside Gao Changkong's heart, and there was also the possibility that he might harbor a grudge against Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi was well prepared, but since he was going to besiege Eclipse Moon, an exchange with the head of the reincarnation squad could not be avoided. Zhang Yi walked over and greeted them with a smile. "Captain Gao, Ms. Gu, nice to see you again." When he saw Zhang Yi, Gao Changkong's face broke into a polite smile. He extended his hand and said to Zhang Yi, "Congratulations, you have become the captain of the Tengbu squad. From now on, we are partners, so please give me your advice." Zhang Yi saw that Gao Changkong's attitude was quite good, so naturally he didn't hold back and shook his hand. "My position as captain is only temporary, and I will step down after completing my mission. I will need Captain Gao's guidance for the next operation." Gao Changkong said, "Not at all. Are you free today? I'd like to invite you to dinner, and we can talk about our future cooperation."